Hello everyone, welcome to another video, another celestial tour. Looking at the stars is something amazing, but what if you can be among the stars? It is pretty obvious by now that space tourism is an example of what humanity's future looks like. Whether it is about humans riding in space with hot air balloons or staying in space hotels. Just imagine you, a person with no experience in spaceflight, being in outer space. Wouldn't it be amazing? Well, let's see some interesting things about how normal people like you, me, and the people we know are in space. Of course, the issue is the cost of all these attractions, but we'll get to that later. So without further ado, let's jump right in. So you guys probably know about the tragic Titan Submersible implosion that happened a while ago. And this really made people not only think about the safety of marine tourism, but space tourism too. People are scared of both the oceans and space. So we should hope that the same things won't happen with the space balloons that are planned to be made soon by the company Space Perspective. Space Perspective aims to send tourists up to the stratosphere through the space balloons they've named Spaceship Neptune. Therefore, the tourists will see a nice view of the planet Earth. There will be a pilot and 8 passengers with seats, a bar, bathroom, and huge windows inside. Planning to be launched from NASA's Kennedy Space Center, the passengers riding on Spaceship Neptune will be spending 2 hours at an altitude of 30,000 meters, being pulled with a balloon that's 200 meters tall. Now, of course, again, the problem is the cost. These things can be easily bought by rich people, but not really by normal people. The price of a ticket is $125,000, but the bright side is that the nonprofit organization Space for Humanity has chosen Space Perspective as a partner for its citizen astronaut program, and the organization will pay for the people going up as space ambassadors. So in my opinion, I think Space Perspective should focus on the safety part so that Spaceship Neptune doesn't end like the Titan Submersible, because people should see the beauty of space without worrying about the engine. Now, what if you can stay in space for a pretty long time in space hotels? Imagine yourself in a 5-star hotel, but in outer space. Doesn't that sound so cool? The company Orbital Assembly is working on 2 space hotels, Voyager Station and Pioneer Station, and it is planning to open the 2 hotels by 2025. The Voyager Station will host 400 guests, but the Pioneer Station will be smaller, so that's why it will host only 20 guests at a time. These hotels will include artificial gravity, which means that they will have a certain rotation speed that will create an inertial force that will mirror the effects of a gravitational force. And boom, artificial gravity for you. The rotation will make the stations look like a giant wheel floating in space, but from the inside, the artificial gravity will help offer luxury hotel things such as restaurants, gym, concert area, and even a cinema. Pretty cool stuff, right? Currently, Orbital Assembly isn't planning a price for the hotels. Now, the space hotels for sure will mainly be for rich people, but Orbital Assembly is planning to eventually put a normal price, something like getting a cruise ticket. So that's good news. Of course, there are other notable things about space tourism too. For example, this is a quite well-known one. Virgin Galactic is a company known for space tourism. There were Virgin Galactic flights going on recently this year. However, their cost is actually a lot, like $450,000 per person. Other companies like Blue Origin and SpaceX are also into space tourism and commercial spaceflight. SpaceX Inspiration 4 mission was a mission that tried to give the message of how spaceflight is for all humans, being the first all-private mission launched on orbit. Another example is the Soyuz MS-20, which is also a space tourism mission where 2 Japanese billionaires went to space. All these things can eventually lead to normal people landing on the moon, for instance. Of course, there are more things to talk about when it comes to space tourism, but I just chose some examples of space tourism to talk about. In conclusion, I think that space tourism should be for everyone and not only rich people. I'm not talking about only staying in luxury space hotels, but I'm talking about people going up to the stratosphere and above, seeing the brilliant scenes of space. And of course, like other people, I hope that things won't end up like the Titan Submersible. I said this in the video, yes, space is for everyone, but a normal civilian should be in an extremely safe environment when it comes to being up in a place like space. So, other than that, pretty cool stuff, right? Space hotels, space balloons, commercial space flights. Let's see what will happen in the future. As always, thank you for watching. Stay astronomical.
Thank you. Thank you.